Okay, come on, give me here. Gonna do autism blog on. I got diagnosed 31 years ago when I was in kindergarten and primary school. In middle of September 1994, and the 1994-1995 school year, I was diagnosed with autism at the children's hospital. Well, no, if I was like a, psychiatrist, doctor, yeah. I do remember the doctor's name, Dr. Cornwall. Dr. Lisa Cornwall. She's probably long retired by now, because I remember as a kid, she looked 20 years older than my parents. So I think she's long been retired by now. She looked 20 or 30 years older than my parents. So yeah, I think she's been retired for a while by now. Okay, let's get to it. I do remember the test that happened to me in 1994. I remember I lined up these animals and cars onto a ferry boat, and then she kept taking away cars and animals, and then I was like, can I please have that car back? She goes, what car? That red car you took, that yellow car that you took, the blue car that you took. I needed to put it in the lineup to get onto the boat, because the boat is gonna leave soon. And then I might have showed frustration in my face, but I mostly was polite, because I was taught to be polite to adults when I was a kid. So I said, may I please have that? I kept using all the magic words. I said, please, can I have that? And then eventually put it back and then wrote notes. Then she had me sit down and she read a book to me. I remembered it word from word, and then I just acted like the characters, and I said, read it again, please. She's like, no, now I'm going to have you sit down and you watch this short film on a VHS tape. This was the early days of the internet, so there was no YouTube in 1994. So they put the VHS tape into a VCR onto a TV, and then took notes of me watching it and seeing if I remembered all the words the person said. I did. I think it was like an ADHD test, but I tested negative for that. And then eventually they did more tests, and I kept rocking in my chair. And she said, can you please stop doing that? And then she kept doing it. That was back when they didn't understand much about stemming. And then she was like, this is very regimented. And then she was like, okay, he has autism. And that's what I got diagnosed. In school, I was eating my work and jumping on desks. So that's when my teacher got concerned and said I should get tested for something, and I should try to apply for the IPP, individual self-planning program. It's an individual program, IPP. It helped me through school and helped me graduate. Yeah. When am I happy that I have autism? Yes. I was born with it, but for my age group, being older millennial and born in 1988, for that, yes. That was the norm for someone to get diagnosed with autism and say, at my age. But then from my friend who's older than me, David James, he got diagnosed 14 years ago. But that was the norm then, because, But me, my family, and David's family were loved by my family. And my family always fought for me to have the schooling and everything today. need it. And they kept trying to take that away, the school. Probably they didn't understand that it was that, but they stopped fighting my mom and when I got to high school because they knew it was a losing battle on their part. They didn't even think about taking away the IPP by that point. And I graduated in 2007 from high school. 2007, yeah, in the 2000s decade, late 2000s. And I wish they had the 21 program when I was in school, but they didn't. But I'm happy I have autism, and I would never trade it for anything else in the world. And yeah, and other ways of how my parents connected the dots. I stopped talking when I was 3 years old, where I wouldn't say anything. I knew what to do, and my parents, like, asking me to clean up my toys, and I did. And I just would play with my toys and not talk at all. And in school, I wouldn't talk, but I would only talk at home. Maybe because I was just super, super shy and didn't really know how to do conversations with people. Yeah, it's always a struggle, people on the spectrum, trying to do communications. But we found out, you like having friends that understand us. Like my friend who's his biggest ally, Kathy James. She lives west of Ottawa. I just know her from my summer home in PEI, and she's awesome. She's the greatest ally you could ever have, because her brother has autism. And I always will watch out for David James. And there's to my anniversary of me finding out I had autism 31 years ago, in 1994.